that I want to, there is the first thing that I want to mention. Secondly, the thing that I want to...
This first thing just quickly so that we have it there.
So the first thing that I want to mention, that I mentioned just now, is that we need to understand the difference between parenthood and parenting. Parenthood is a process that you get a baby, but parenting is a very different thing. Parenting is actually your educated behavior, your wise behavior, your clever behavior to take care of your child. That is what is parenting. A lot of us, we think that parenthood is already parenting. So we say, Allah gave the child, He will take care of the child. I have heard that so many times, and it makes me angry actually to hear it. It really makes me angry. Okay? If you and me, we are not ready to take care of our children, and we are not ready to, take care of them in the proper way, then in the first place, we have no right to have the child. Okay? That is the first thing that I wanted to mention. Number two thing that I wanted to mention is that the parenting is dependent on time and dependent on place. That is something we all have to understand. Parenting in the time of Prophet ﷺ, a lot of the things may be similar today, but a lot of the things are not similar anymore. Okay? So on time, you have a difference. At the same time, it is also place dependent. Parenting in Bangladesh or in Pakistan or Uzbekistan or India or in Somalia or in Afghanistan or anywhere else that you can think of, Syria, Iraq, anywhere, Middle East, anywhere, and Europe, at the same time is very different. There are maybe some similarities, but there are a lot of dissimilarities also. And when the parents don't understand this, then they used to make a lot of mistakes. They make a lot of mistakes. Okay? So in this country when we live in, we have to take care of some of the norms of this country, and then we have to keep that in mind, and only then actually we can be a good parent here. If we don't keep that in mind, there are some people, subhanallah, in our community it's so rampant. There are so many cases, and I have been engaged with so many of these kinds of cases that first time they get a reminder from the system that you are not supposed to beat your child, and then I somehow heard it, or they came to me, so I talked to them, and then I see that second time they did the same thing again. So definitely the system came and took the child away, right? And then when I told them that, brother, how comes you did it? Then brother says the wife did it, wife said the husband did it. Nobody takes the responsibility. The child is in the social system. So, it's a really, I'm sorry to say, but it's a really, I don't like to use the word, but it's a very stupid situation that somebody puts themselves in, right? We know that, okay, the system here is that you cannot beat your child, and for me, it's my personal opinion, you should never beat a child. That in the Sunnah of Prophet ﷺ, there is not a single example that he beat a child. How comes it came to our culture? I don't understand this. If we talk about Islam, if we talk about Sunnah, there is not a single example that our Prophet ﷺ he has beaten any children. It has never happened. But somehow in the Muslim culture, this came in. In Bangladesh, they make this joke. They say that they send the kid to the school, and they tell the teacher that the meat is yours and bone is mine.
Exactly. Same. We
have the same thing.
Uzbekistan.
Yes. Yeah.
Central Asia.
So meaning that you can beat him as much as you want to beat, no problem. As long as the kid is alive, it's okay. I don't know where did it come from. It's not from Islam. It's something else. So this is the second thing that we need to remember, that the parenting at different time they are different, and the parenting at different location in the same time is also different. So it is exactly about where you are living, and where and what time you are living, and that actually defines how we should do the parenting. Okay, so with that, inshallah, I will just mention a few things that I want to mention here today. That the main goal is basically that we need to have a positive mindset in parenting. Okay, if we see raising a child is so difficult, it's so tough, if we start talking about it, after 5 times we'll start believing it. This is what is happening to our society today. A lot of people consciously choosing not to have kids. It's because, first we talk about it like, oh, it's so difficult, child is, you have to take care of in the morning, afternoon, evening. And then once you start talking about it, then you start believing it. Right? That's how it happens, right? If you say something in your head 10 times, I mean, this is what Goebbels was the information minister for Hitler. He said that if you tell a lie 10 times, it becomes the truth. Right? So that is one of the things. We need to have a positive mindset to parenting, because we have to see that we are not only just raising a child, we are actually raising a resource for the ummah. We are actually raising the resource of the future of Muslim ummah. Once you take it like this, then you see that you are really on a very important job that we are in here. Okay, and then number 2, that is the thing that I would also like to talk about today, is that we really need to be a role model to our children. We need to be the role model to our child. It's extremely important. If a child, when he grows up, he sees that the father prays, at the same time the father cheats the system, right? The father prays, at the same time he lies to other people. Okay, I'm only talking about fathers, but because we are all fathers here, he sees that the father, he brings him to the masjid, okay, at the same time he breaks the traffic laws, and he says, oh, nobody saw it, so it's okay, and then what happens is that when this happens, then we are not role model to our children. And once we are not role model to our children, first they lose respect on us, and then they lose respect on Islam. Because Islam and father is same thing to him, right? To the child. So in the back of their mind, they start feeling like, because my father was trained up in another country and so on, that is why he doesn't understand the system. And from there, bit by bit, it grows in the child's head that it's because that culture is inferior, it's because that religion is inferior. And actually, who started it? It's not our child who started thinking about it. Okay, so that's why that is extremely important that we become the role model to our children. Okay, and then number 3 thing that also I would like to talk is about that we should always walk alongside our child. Okay, we should not be the one that always directing them, always leading them. Okay, always. Just one simple example. There was a brother. One day he said that I have bought my son a very expensive jeans. He doesn't like it. Then I said, you bought it for yourself, not for him. You bought it because you like the jeans. It's not because your son likes the jeans. Doesn't matter the money to him, right? So always, we should not be the one that imposing things on our children. It should be more like we work alongside them. Especially we are in a society where even at work and in the school and everywhere, it's a very hierarchical society, right? Non-hierarchical society, right? Here, let's say bosses will sit with you just like friends. They will talk about movie, talk about sports and everything. So in this society, when they go to school, they see that everyone is equal, okay? But they come home, they see that my father is the boss, right? And when they see this, automatically a kind of disrespect grow, because they grow up in a society where nobody is boss, right? Everybody is important, everybody is equivalent. I'm not saying that the father should not be the leader of the family. What I'm saying is that the traditional notion of being a leader does not apply to this society. The traditional notion of being the boss does not apply to this society, and if we make these mistakes, we are actually harming our children. We are actually not doing something good. Yeah. So inshallah, I want to just want to mention these three practical things. So first thing was that you have seen this video, right? This small baby, he talks to the mother. He said, "Linda, listen," right? A lot of our children, they are dying for it. They want their parents to listen to them. I have been, yesterday I have ran a because it was a host club, so I have ran a workshop with some young boys. It was around 30 of them, and we have run a workshop for 4 hours. One of the things that recurrently coming up is like, parents don't listen to us. I say that Corona is not a pandemic. The pandemic is actually parents don't listen to the kids. Large number of parents, they feel that I know more than you. I was born 30 years before you. Okay, I earn, I take care of the house, I take care of the family. What do you know? That's the attitude. So many parents have this attitude, and this is really, really harming. It's really, really harmful. So that's why these three things that I want to mention. And number one is empathy. We need to understand, the life of my child as if I am living that life. I need to understand this, right? For you and me, because we have beard, we have a good job, we are in a good place. I can tell my boss, it's my time to pray. My boss will allow me to pray because he has no other option, because he needs me in the job, right? But my son, when he is in the school, it's not so easy for him or her. It's not so easy, right? You cannot just say, why didn't you pray? They have to really create the environment, right? So that is why it's extremely important. We need to understand their lives as if we are living that life. This empathy is very important. The parents who cannot feel this one, there are parents who will say things like wasn't I a teenage kid? Is it only you who is a teenage kid? I don't know. I mean, you must have heard these kind of things from many of the kids. Number two is the congruence. The congruence is that basically the way you behave and what you have in your heart should be the same. The children understand honesty. It's so easy for them to understand. When they see that you are not honest, they get it very easily, very fast. When you say inshallah means never, they understand it immediately. Some inshallah is never, right? The children ask, Daddy, can I have this? Mama, can I have this? You say inshallah. This inshallah means never. They understand it immediately. And some inshallah, they understand that they're gonna get it tomorrow, right? So this number two is extremely important. If you think that your child don't understand, you are making a big mistake. They understand everything. Children are, one of the, they have the natural gift of negotiation. Okay, they can do negotiation in such a nice way. They will come to you and they will say, I want these drinks. Okay, then you say, because it's already evening and these drinks is sugary and you shouldn't drink it. After half an hour, they will come back to you as if they have never discussed it with you. They will ask again, can I have these drinks? Okay, you will say, didn't I tell you half an hour ago that you shouldn't have it? Oh, okay, thank you. They will go play around. After half an hour, they will come again. Again, they will tell you as if like they have never discussed that with you, right? And this is exactly the negotiation skills. In a business negotiation, this is what people do. People say the same thing like, this thing costs 10 kroner. And then customer says, it's too much. Then you go other way, then you say, no, it's actually, 10 kroner. You come from other direction, you say 10 kroner. Customer again says, it's too expensive. Third time you go again and you explain from this direction and say it's 10 kroner. Then the customer thinks, yeah, it is 10 kroner. And then what happens? You as a father, you say, okay, just take it. Right? So children, they can play with us in a very clever way that you cannot imagine. So if we think that our children don't understand, you are completely on the wrong planet. Okay? They are very clever people. And then number three that I want to do this one is that we need to be non-judgmental and we need to give them very unconditional positive regard. Okay, if I see that my child likes something which is good, then I should not impose my choice on them. I should be positive to them and I should be supporting them. So many kids that I have met, that one of the things that they say, I'm from Bangladesh, India, Pakistan is like every parent wants their child to be a doctor. You either become a doctor or an engineer, otherwise your life is nothing. Right? It has to be on these two, otherwise there is no other profession. So many kids I have seen that I met them and they complain about this. They say that I want to study this, but my parents want me either to study IT or to go to medicine. If you don't go to medicine, they will say, your cousin is so good, he's going to medicine. What are you doing with your life? And these are the things that is extremely important, that we need to give them this, unconditional positive regard. If they're doing something bad, then definitely we should intervene. If you see that they're mixing with some friends which are not good, then definitely you shouldn't be positive and say, yeah, it's your friend and go around. No, then you need to enter and say, it's not good, this friend is not good, you shouldn't mix with them, right? That is our job, to guide them, right? But not really to like dictate things on them. Okay, and then with that I want to also mention the three sides that a lot of parents, traditionally they make this mistake, that is called these cognitive distortions. Okay, cognitive distortions means that in your mind there is something that you think is right, but actually it is not right. Okay, one thing is that this all or nothing thinking. Okay, your child got 95 out of 100, you say, why didn't you get 100? A lot of parents are like this, they whatever they didn't get in their lives, they want their child to get it, right? So this is this kind of thing, that all or nothing attitude. Your thinking is that you get everything, even if he gets 50%, 60%, 70%, is as if he achieved nothing, right? Number two thing is that the overgeneralization. Let's say if they fail once, you say you always fail. You have no regard. You don't work hard. Many parents, they make this kind of thing. They think that they are motivating the child. Actually, they are damaging their motivation. Actually they are like they are making them bitter about their parents, right? And then number three is this. Yes.
Rahman, are we discussing or how?
Yeah, we can. Maybe I will finish, then we can discuss, inshallah. Yeah. So, and then number three is this mental filter. That if something negative happens, then you already think like, oh, my son, he's like he is unworthy of anything. You will never achieve anything. So you don't invest anything on your child. Sometimes some parents do that. They have two boys. They think that one of them will be successful. They put everything. It's a very big injustice to the other boy. You have to take care of all of your children in the same way, whether it is a boy or girl. Otherwise, you will be, in the day of judgment, you will be asked, right? So why did you treat your two children in different ways? So this kind of mental filter is like, okay, this boy or this girl is a little bit unwise than the other boy. So you put all your effort on one boy and not on the other one. So this kind of mental filter is also things that is one of the cognitive distortions that really harms your child. And then I will with this, and then we can open up for discussion. And then this one I also want to mention. We mentioned before that unconditional positive regard, and the other side of it is the toxic positivity. Okay, there are some parents, they allow their children to do everything. Let's say your son is 3 years, 4 years old, and he came into masjid and he is fighting with another boy. He went and he punched him, and you don't say anything because it's like he's a child. What can I do, right? So what you are doing, what you are teaching your child, is it okay to go and punch someone else, right? Your child maybe comes here and he starts tearing one of the poster. Okay, you don't say anything because he's a child. This is the other side of it. A lot of parents have this toxic positivity. They feel like you cannot say no to your child. And this is also very bad. If you don't teach your children how to behave, then you are preparing them for danger. What happens is like this, lot of children like this, family allows them to do everything. Okay, then they go to school and they grow up with this thing. Whatever I want, it happens. Because you taught them like this, right? They go to school, grade 5, grade 6, and then teacher gives them a small assignment. 3 people do it together. No one wants to be their friend because this person does not know how to cooperate. Because you have never taught your boy or daughter to cooperate, right? So what happens is that they go to grade 6, grade 7, they find out that nobody works with them.
Selfish.
Right? Because the person is selfish, right? And then what happens is that this boy becomes, or this girl becomes depressed. They have no friends, they have nothing. That is why a lot of children here, grade 7, grade 8, they become depressed, cut their hands here, there, suddenly change their clothing, suddenly you will see like looks are changed, they get a tattoo. It's because of this. Their parents, when they were a child, never taught them how to work with people. There are rules and regulations that you need to live with. Okay? If we don't understand these things and we say, oh, I allow my child to do everything, then you are also preparing him for a big danger actually. Jazakumullah khair. I mentioned a lot of things here already. But this is a topic I think is a very important, and we should discuss about this topic further, I think. And it's very important, I think, for all of our for all of us, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.